Good afternoon. It's October the 2nd, 2015. Time to wrap it up for the day. Today was a big news day trade. The non-farm payrolls number was well below forecast, came in at 142. They were looking for 203. And they revised August's numbers down, and the market sold, as one would expect. There was a low volume number down in the 86 area. It essentially held. The market did make it to the next high volume number, but you can see that it based down here, and then the market turned up and rallied. This is a 10-minute chart. It's a take on the market, but just right here, the bar before the market opens would have you short in the 1891 area. The market trades down to 83. It's a big trade. The next trade that's set up on a 10-minute chart would be, you'd be long in the 84, 85 area on a blue on blue trade. Market rallies up. There is no red on red trade here. You're long on a blue on blue trade on the probably the 10-10 bar. And if you'd figured out a way to stay with it, you're in the game at 88, 89. So far we've traded up to 28. So this is a hell of a rally right now. And you can see in the bottom screen right here that the 50 lot trader is on the buy side. And they're the ones propelling the market, and given the fundamentals, it could only be the Fed. They're not going to let the bottom fall out of the market, period. Okay, on the F1 screen, we're going to have an outside day here, the way it looks, and that means trading range. If we get through this 30 area right here, then the 50 area is the next stop on the charts. And so we've got a buyer below 1860, and right now we've got a seller above 1930, and that's 70 points. And in bear markets, 70-point rallies, relief rallies is what you'd expect. A short covering rally when it gets underway, minimally 30 to 40. So we're kind of in that window, and like I said, short covering rallies are swift, and they're very, very painful. They squeeze them. So right now I'm looking at trading range outside day. I think is what we're going to end up with when the day's all said and done. Don't know that for sure. Buying came right out of the middle. The market usually moves after an hour. It can go the other way. It did go the other way. So we have BCs, the first hour's out of the way. D breaks up and out. And the buying really hasn't stopped. And now they've gotten stops above the overnight and day session highs. And it looks like they got stops above the London high the other night. So if the market was to close right now, right here, we'd be selling failure to take out 30 to 35. That would be sell 1. Sell failure to take out 30 to 35. And the second sell would be 40, 45. On the buy side, these single prints, 15 to 20 would be buy 1 for Globex. And then 1900, 1905 would be buy 2. The news on Monday. PMI service, labor market index, and ISM service. And I don't have the numbers for those yet, but we'll have them bright and early Monday morning. Okay, next week is auction week for treasuries, and the 10-year, the F1 screen up right here, we had a very, very strong up day. We had a great deal of selling and profit taking kicked in. And we've got this to look at. So we got a pretty clean break at 129 even. So buying against 129 would be the first trade. And let's see what develops and comes from that. Okay, last rotate up stopped at 14. We're currently at 11. So sell 1 will be 15 to 19. Sell 2, 23 to 27. 3-year auction will be on Tuesday. On the buy area, we'd be buying 4 to 8. And then 28.29 to 29.01 for buy 2. Looking at the 30-year, and the knob spread came in quite a bit. It was above 30. So structurally they came back and retested the breakout level at 58.16 and it held. Last rotate up stopped at 30. We're currently at 24, so 31 to 03. The mini selling, we don't want any part of the short side. And then the spill up here came from 16 and 15 to 19 for sell 2. On the buy side, 13 to 17. And then 1 to 5. Okay, on gold we had resistance at 40, then at 47, then at 50 to 55. We did get stops above 40 today. This market is pointed up. And pretty much been trading at 38 area all day long. So outside day, I'm guessing a trading range. We'll consolidate today's move, so I'm not afraid to sell the 40-42 area. And then 45-47. On the buy side, 30-32. And 25-27. Okay, crude, I think they lost 22 drilling rigs, and crude rallies off that, and it did fit the time. It also fit the time when the E-mini got up and ran. So that supposedly is what stemmed the buying. But you can see right here that you get in this 44 area, we've had pretty good support, and that would lead me to believe that we don't really run into resistance till we get up to 47. The market was pulled back to this high volume area. Demand is going up. I looked at some mileage. We went from like 3 trillion miles to 3.1 trillion miles on an annualized basis. So lower fuel costs are increasing driving, and they're selling big vehicles because of that. So 45, 75, 46 will be sell 1. Then 46, 50, 75 will be sell 2. With all the stuff that's going on in the Middle East, it's just hard to believe that people, that things can't escalate. Russia mollified some of their Western criticism by attacking some ISIS strongholds today. But both ISIS and the U.S.-backed rebels are attacking Assad. And back in the old days when you were pretty realistic, well, he's not. He is a dictator, that's true, but he's our dictator. And in that part of the world, you don't get democracies, and you don't get democratic form of rule that lasts past one election unless you have a civil society. And it takes a long time. Everybody forgets that the Magna Carta was signed in 1200. And look at how long it took for that to go through the world. And countries that best exemplify that are the Anglophile countries, countries that were incubated and born, and the ideas came from England. And so Assad, as a ruler, I mean, he's horrid. He kills people. He does what dictators do to stay in power. But in their society, just like in Egypt, it was pretty civil. You didn't have burqas, you didn't have veils, you didn't have a lot of stuff like that. You weren't really assailed for having different religious views. Even Christians can live in Syria, and they used to be able to live in Egypt. So as bad as he is, as far and ruthless as he is maintaining rule, as far as society goes and freedoms and the rest of it, as long as you didn't cross Assad or Mubarak, you didn't get in trouble. And unfortunately, that that part of the world over there, dictators are the only long-lasting forms of government. It's their tribe's time to loot the public treasury. Okay, 1325 is resistance, higher day, higher low, and 1150, 1175 is pretty good support, and we're at 1225 right now. And looking at the euro right here, last rotate up stopped at 44, so 1250 is sell 1. Then we have a G period high at 1295, so 1290 to 1300 sell 2. On the buy side, 1200 buy 1, and 1175 buy 2. And that's it for the first Friday in October. And we're actually supposed to make it up to 68, 70 degrees today, which is quite a... we actually had a 90-degree day at the end of last week, so we've been really much warmer than normal. Global warming, of course, which I'm all for, by the way. It's not that I dislike cold weather. It's that can't handle and maneuver it. But if I had a choice between cold weather and warm weather, I'd definitely go the warm weather route. You all have a great weekend. I'm going to be back after I button this up. Back in a few.